Random Thought.
This is Random Thoughts with your host, Andrew Pollock.
Coming to you from a very, very cloudy and very depressing Fresh Meadows, New York today. This is the Random Thought program here on Spreaker and simulcasted on the Andrew Sports Fan YouTube page. I am your host, Andrew Pollock. And what I mean to say about, depressing, oh my goodness, folks, let me tell you. Since Sunday, the weather here has been awful. It really, really has been. Every day it's been rain and cloudy, and today I think it's the worst day of all of them. Even though it's the middle of the week, I understand that, but let me tell you, folks, it is very, very cold here. It feels like March. It literally feels like late March here. I can't complain because I know that over the weekend they said that it's going to be warming up and we're going to be in the 70s here all week next week, so that's something to look forward to at least. But my goodness, this is not how weather-wise we want to start off May, but the warmer days are coming up, so that's a sigh of relief. All right, a lot to discuss today. Wow, there's a lot to discuss today. Obviously, we got to talk politics. We're going to talk about the obvious Republican candidate who will be the nominee, which is Donald Trump, obviously. We will talk about the interesting development going on with the Democratic race. Bernie Sanders surprised a lot of us last night. Despite Hillary having a 4-point lead in the poll, Bernie Sanders was able to pull up a huge upset. But also, we're going to talk about Mike Francesa bashing Rick DiPietro. Now, I have to bring this up because it is a huge problem. It bothers me, and I want to talk about it. So, basically, I'll get into that. Without further ado... Oh, sorry, I have more things to talk about. My bad, because I have a whole list. I thought I was going to get right into the politics, but something else I want to talk about. I want to talk to you about Lipsy Jimmy. Yeah, I told you guys about him on Monday. His reaction to the terrorist. Basically, the terrorist... Okay, I'll try to explain it the best I can. His reaction to the French terrorist, being addicted to Grand Theft Auto 5 and, his lawyer saying, blaming it all on the Grand Theft Auto Society for terrorism. Yeah, but something different happened with his channel. A crazy video he posted. I'll get into that. And I also want to talk to you about my reaction to the controversial call with the Spurs and Thunder game on Monday night. Because everybody is still talking about it, but now I can say it without further ado. So here I go. Politics. Yes. Last night, Ted Cruz dropped out of the race after he lost Indiana. And just this afternoon, John Kasich dropped out. So that means Donald Trump will be the official nominee representing the Republicans on November 8th on Election Day. Once, they announced it at the convention in July, but yeah, he's going to be the nominee. So be ready for a Donald Trump Republican run, okay? I mean, we've been talking about it for a year now. Well, not on this program, but, other people have been. And, no matter how controversial the man is, the man actually has a plan to bring this country back on track. he does, in my opinion. Now, I don't need to brag on about it, but, it's really going to be fun to see Trump take on Hillary or Bernie, which I will get into that right now. I don't really need to go into the Republicans anymore, basically, unless Donald Trump says something controversial again, but let's strictly focus this program on the Democratic race, because I feel that it is a big news story, and we may actually have a contested convention. The possibility of it is looking decent, but it may happen. Because last night, Bernie Sanders, the independent senator from Vermont, as everybody knows him, basically shocked everyone and won the Indiana Democratic primary last night. And the next primary will be on May 10th, which is this upcoming Tuesday. And, I am really curious to see how this Democratic race is going to look. But either way, Hillary's going to be the nominee, because I keep saying, in a contested convention, she is going to win. No matter how messed up the Democratic Party is, let me tell you, folks, it is just a messed up party. It's corrupt. And they're going to make sure that Hillary gets the nomination. If Bernie is the nominee, folks, let me tell you right now, this election won't even be close. No one is going to support a socialist like Bernie Sanders. No one will. Maybe liberal millennials will. Liberal millennials. Yeah, that's who will support him. Liberal millennials. The hardcore ones. Oh, the ones who like to smoke weed all the time. The ones who, the ones who have low income. The ones who can barely pay off their college loans. They're so liberal, they want somebody to pay off their college for them. Let's put Bernie in. Folks, let me tell you, under a Democratic president, disastrous things will happen. It really will. So, I originally liked Bernie, but when I found out that his spending, the way he's going to raise the debt again, not going to cut it with me. Sorry. But we shall see what happens with West Virginia on Tuesday. And then the week after is Kentucky, that's a southern state, in which Hillary should win that one. But West Virginia will be in play on Tuesday. Now that we're done talking about that, let's talk about Mike Francesa criticizing Rick DiPietro. I have the audio clip courtesy of Spin Chat.
Now, I have been, in the last week, a little hard on the Islanders for a couple of reasons, dating to how they do a little of their business. And it got back to me that their ex-goalie, who does a show with Alan Hahn, I don't know what the name of the show is, Hahn and Humpty. Okay, it's been on, I don't know, it's one of these countless shows they've had on, through the years. Just another one that's now going to take us on and beat us and do all the things that we've heard, 4 million times in the last 25 to 30 years. I've heard it another 100,000 times. But I gather he took umbrage and felt he needed to protect the team that's paying him. And you know what? I might have a warm spot for a team that was paying me through 2029 also. When I did nothing except shoot my mouth off and basically somehow bilk them out of a 15-year deal and have a losing record for my career. But I gather he said some, said some disparaging things about me after I attacked the Islanders. I didn't say anything about him. Obviously, I wouldn't pay much attention to him. But now that he's in my business and actually is, and I use this in quotes, competition, giggle. But here's a guy shooting his mouth off at a show that beats him. Now, you should understand this. This would be like basically your typical night Nets, 7.5 to 1. All right, 8 to 1 on a normal in a normal book. 8-1, you're getting beat. Just shut your mouth and be happy you got a job to find somewhere to go every day. Now, this is not for Alan Hahn, who's a good guy, does a good job with the Knicks. Somehow he got hooked up with this stooge, and maybe he can get away from it and still salvage his career on the radio. But, I mean, listen, you, from what I understand, you play goalie better than you do the radio, which isn't saying much, from what I understand, you know. And now the Islanders are winning, now that you're basically shooting your mouth off on the radio. So stick to things, or stick to, you know, a league you can compete in. And tackling me in the radio business, you know, you're you, and I'm Gordie Howe. So, you know, clam up.
All right, so basically, in that audio clip from yesterday's program, he basically just tells Humpty to just shut your mouth. That's what he basically told him. Now, first of all, to Mike, okay, I respected Francesa for a while, but when you bash somebody from my hockey team, okay, you bash somebody from my hockey team despite him being so awful his last few years as an Islander, I respect Humpty very much. Now, first of all, I don't even know why he's not going to call him by his nickname, because I have so much respect for DiPietro, I'm going to call him by his nickname. Okay, Humpty is a very good nickname. I like that nickname. I love it very much. And as far as their program being simulcasted, believe me, I am DVRing it every day. But the point is, you know, DiPietro technically was the one who started it, but, you know, is this going to become a war between him and Humpty? I would say maybe. It really depends on, you know, any developments going on, because as of 4 o'clock, Mike hasn't said anything. No one has posted anything on the internet regarding it, so yeah. And then Peter Rosenberg chimed in. Now, in case you have no idea who Peter Rosenberg is one of the morning people at Hot 97, and he also is part of the Michael Kay show on ESPN New York 98.7, even though Michael Kay is a terrible broadcaster, in my opinion. What gives the right to Peter Rosenberg to chime in? I'm sorry. Hey, Peter, just stick to hip-hop, okay? Hang out with your boy Ebro, and stick with the other girl Laura Stiles, and just shut up, okay? Just shut up. As far as Francesa is concerned, he's still going to be number one of the ratings, but folks, just remember this: he's leaving in 2017. So for all the haters, you have something positive to look forward to. That's all I'm going to say regarding that issue. But I thought it was very interesting to hear what Francesa said yesterday. And I really want to see what's going to happen after these war of words transpire. Now, on to the controversial topic of the Spurs versus Thunder game from Monday night. Everybody has the same opinion with me, basically, when Ibaka pushed Ginobili. That was blatantly an offensive foul. And for many people who really weren't paying attention on that play, first of all, I was going to say, Oklahoma City was over the foul limit. So if somehow the referees realized it was an offensive foul, folks, let me tell you, the Spurs would have won the game because Ginobili was at the free throw line. He would have made both free throws, and we would be talking about a 2-0 Spurs lead into the series heading into tonight's game. So, I mean, I really don't need to erupt over it, because I already erupted over it with a few of my buddies yesterday, and, you know, and a few co-workers yesterday. So, basically, I got the erupt this part out, but, you know, hey, tied series. Let's see what happens. I hope it goes 6 or 7 games. Because if it doesn't, then it's another example of the NBA being a laughingstock. Now that I quickly brought up that topic, I want to focus on something. And it's a very, in my opinion, I thought it was funny. Maybe you guys won't think it's funny, but I thought it was funny. Now, I mentioned Lipsy Jimmy. I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. He's basically a YouTuber who posts a lot of Grand Theft Auto Online videos. And just recently on Monday, he posted a video of himself playing GTA Online on the PC. Now, if you guys know who I'm talking about, he does a lot of his GTA videos on the PlayStation 4, obviously. And I can understand why he's cursing in the video, which I'm not going to say any of the stuff that he said right now on this podcast, but a lot of the stuff was not safe for work language. I'd say R-rated TVMA kind of language, and I can understand why he's cursing, and he's trying to call people out in the video, because it's a video game, but I'll give the main highlights of the video for FCC terms. Now, when I talk about FCC terms, I mean words I can actually say on the air. So, here I go. The main highlights were, as he was cursing, as he was playing the game, and as his bro, who I'm going to call him in the video, was holding the camera, he was blaming the computer screen. He's basically cursing at the computer screen for lagging. Now, if you do play Grand Theft Auto Online on last gen and PC, you know how bad the lag is. I'm talking about PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the PC, obviously. I think Rockstar, from what I've heard, they improved the servers on next gen like PS4 and Xbox One, but basically, he was blaming the computer screen for lagging. To Jimmy, I say that's a little inappropriate to be saying that. I mean, the cursing is fine. I mean, I'm okay with it, because I thought it was hilarious, but my goodness. Bro, you cannot blame the computer screen. It's the game itself. How do you think the game can handle it? It's such a big game. It's the biggest Grand Theft Auto release in all of the Grand Theft Auto titles. Well, next to 4 and San Andreas, but point is, you can't be blaming the screen for lagging. You should be really blaming Rockstar. And another highlight I want to give from the video was he was cursing at a modder, and he tried chasing the modder to try to, kill him off in the game, not in real life, but in the game. And, I've had encounters with modders before on the PS3. I know it's pain, but, if you don't want to deal with a modder, just leave the session. That's what I would do if I don't want a modder messing around with me. Just leave the session and go to a new one. And the last highlight of the video was when Jimmy took the computer screen outside and his bro follows him with the camera. He grabs a baseball bat and he starts whacking the computer screen. Oh my goodness, it was so hilarious. The mom actually comes out. I'm not kidding, the mother was actually in the video. Well, her face wasn't in it, but you could hear her in the background with Jimmy's bro. And oh my goodness. The really messed up part about this was he lit the computer screen on fire. And they had to take a hose to take the fire out. My goodness. I swear. I mean, Is it funnier than Angry Video Game Nerd? I'd say yes, but oh my goodness. If you guys want to see the video for yourself, look up Lipsy Jimmy's channel and look up Fat Kid Rages over Grand Theft Auto 5 because I swear it was the most funniest video game video I have seen in a very long time. Hang on. I'm going to pull up the video right now on my phone. I'm going to give you an accurate view count of the video if I can pull it up. Because at least this should be 50,000 views. That kind of video is like 50,000 plus views gold right there. Probably all the haters are going to bash him, but to Lipsy Jimmy, I'm going to say congrats on an epic video. I mean, I was amused. It was hilarious. Oh my goodness. But as far as me destroying the screen or my PlayStation 3, why would I do that? You know, I mean, that has to be the most dumbest thing you could do to burn your computer screen down. But all right, here it is. Last count was 50,899 views as of 4:34 here in New York time. So again, if you want to look up the video yourself, you know, if you have the time, if you want to deal with the cursing, blah blah blah, just look it up. Fat Kid Rages at Grand Theft Auto 5 and destroys computer screen. It's hilarious. Now I have a warning. Again, if you're under 17, I recommend you do not watch the video because, again, it has adult language, it has violence, blah, blah, blah. So, just please keep that in mind. So, viewer discretion is advised. I'll say that. Alright, so that will end up being today's episode of Random Thoughts. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Andrew Sportsfan. And my YouTube page, Andrew Sportsfan, just space it all out. And the Tumblr blog, www.tumblr.com/Andrew Sportsfan. Now, as far as me doing the next episode, I will give an update on Twitter. So, again, follow me at Andrew Sportsfan, and I will tweet out the next time I will do an episode. Bye, everyone.